Ann Carpenter, the Youth Services Librarian, and this is my son Ivan, and two of our dogs. And one of the ways that we've been doing a lot of self-care while we've been stuck at home is playing with our pets. So one of the things that we thought we would do as a video is how to make pet treats for your pets, because as much as they've been giving to us, we want to give to them.
Usually when we make treats for our dogs, we use an actual recipe. And if you're the kind of person who wants an actual recipe, feel free to use this one that my son, when he was in the 2nd grade, copied out of a National Geographic magazine. But this particular recipe uses pumpkin, which we always have on our cabinets because we love pumpkin pie, but I figured this is not a time that people have a lot of things just randomly lying around the house. So we are going to do a catch-as-you-can recipe. So after we decided not to use pumpkin in our recipe, we went online looking for a different recipe that didn't use pumpkin, and we found 4,000 different recipes on how to make dog treats. And I was really starting to get really detailed, like which one is going to be the best one? Is it going to be the one with the eggs? Is it going to be the one with the oil? Will it be the one that using baking soda, not using baking soda? And then I realized this is a treat for my dogs. Honestly, they don't care. As long as it's going to be food and it's going to taste like peanut butter, they're good. Like, honestly, I don't even have to make anything. If I just put peanut butter on a spoon, the dogs would enjoy that. So this is one of those times in your life when it is absolutely, totally stress-free baking. No one is going to judge you for your dog treats because the dogs are going to like them no matter what. It's not like when you make the cookies and your kid's complaining, oh, this one's too crunchy, this one's not crunchy enough. Maybe that's just my picky kid, I don't know. The dog is gonna love it. So if you have the ingredients that I have, great. If you don't have the ingredients that I have, also great. Just don't put eggs in it. Put in applesauce. Or add a little bit of extra water. Is your dough too sticky? Put in more flour. Is it not sticky enough? Put in more peanut butter. It's gonna be great. We're just gonna wing it. Here's what I decided to put into my dog treats. So a cup and a half of flour, which ideally would be wheat flour, but I didn't have any wheat flour, in part because one of my dogs, in a fit of rage because I was working at home and not playing with him, decided to destroy my entire bottom pantry. But that's a shelf, but that's a story for another time. It's going to be a half a cup of peanut butter, which again, if you want it more peanut buttery, put in more peanut butter. And an egg, because I think that'll help bind it all together. But if you don't have an egg, I think just flour and peanut butter is probably going to be sticky enough to make some kind of a dough. So don't stress about it. This is all about self-care and doing something fun for your pets. It shouldn't be something that you're very worried about. Here is my lump of dough. It turns out that my dough was too dry, so I had to add some water to it. I was originally going to measure how much water I added, and then I said to myself, no, the whole point of this is that it is stress-free baking in which we are going to wing it and have fun while doing so. So I don't actually know how much water I put in. If I had to guess, I'd say maybe about 3 tablespoons. But again, this is all about just playing and having fun. If your dough looks too dry, add some water. If it looks too wet, add some more flour, add some more peanut butter. Just keep mixing stuff in, mixing it around until you have something that is workable, that you think you can roll out. Next step is roll your dough out. You can see here I've been using some star-shaped cookie cutters. It would have been better if I had bone-shaped cookie cutters, but I don't. So the dogs are getting stars. If you don't have any cookie cutters, also not a problem. Just cut it into strips and they'll be rectangles. Again, we're making something for your dog, and your dog is not going to judge you, which is why we love our dogs. So, here's my final product. I got a star-shaped one to show you what that can look like, and then a rectangle one that if you don't have cookie cutters, you can just make with your pizza cutter, or honestly, just a butter knife and just cut it. You can't see it, but on the other side of the camera are all of the dogs following my every movement of the dog cookies. Yeah, because you're good girls.
Yeah. And a good boy.
And a good boy. So I cooked them for about 20 minutes at, I think it was 350. Think of them like cookies, except you don't want to cook them longer because you want them to be really firm. Thank you for watching this self-care, how to make pet treats video. I was saying to one of my coworkers that this was kind of a fake out because it was intended to be a self-care video. How do you make
pet cookies, and it ended up being a self-care video for me about recognizing that the perfect is the enemy of the good, that you need to just embrace the chaos, that right now is not a time for doing things that are amazing and perfect in every single detail. Right now is a time for just doing what you can with what you have, with the energy that you have right now, and if that means you're just watching videos, that's great. You don't have to be super productive. You don't have to be, writing the world's greatest novel. You got out of bed, you kept your children fed, and you played with your dogs. That's great. You are winning today. Okay.